Welcome to Saturday Chronicle, and we're going here this morning from the Prime Blue Brew Plaza in Tungwini. We also have Plaza. We also have some of our raffle tickets as well for sale. If anybody would like to pop into us here as well, our Scariff Bacon Meteorite Monster raffle. There are 5 each. Wonderful prizes. I think we're joined on the line now this morning for the East Clare Garda focus by Garda Cormac Fallon. Good morning, Cormac.
Morning, Cormac.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Our first time, I think, speaking to you this morning. So,
Yeah.
what's going on in the world of crime around Cormac? Not too much, hopefully.
Just as you said, not too much, thankfully. Just wanted to bring your attention, or your listeners' attention to a couple of cold callers we've had visiting East Clare over the last week or two there, and just advising people to notify us of it, because sometimes we're notified later on when the car is gone. It could be that evening when we're notified. So just to bring it to your listeners' attention as well, coming up to the busy Christmas period with delivery drivers and couriers and things, there's no harm in asking if someone is calling to your house, ask for some credentials or ask them to call back. Or the main thing I want to say is to notify us if you can at all at the time. You can notify us by ringing 999. There's no problem. You could ring Ennis Garda station or Nina Garda station with the operating model that's in place, and we can notify the guards that are on duty at the time, because usually it's not just a single house that's called to, there'll be a number of houses.
Okay.
That'd be one thing I'd like to say. In the busy period coming up to Christmas now, there'll be couriers flying left, right and centre, and it's to let people know that if they do notice anything suspicious or whatever, to don't feel pressured on the spot and to report it as soon as you can to us, because the sooner the better for us to try and find out who's who.
Okay, and that seems to have been fairly obvious during the week as well, Cormac, because there were on social media there were a lot of posts, and some of them even gave the type of car and the description and the number plate.
Yeah, they had great description of it.
That obviously helps you.
Massively so. Yeah, like the description is so helpful to you when you're used to driving all day. Cars nearly seem to all look the same, and the better description you can give, whether it be tinted windows, certain alloys, certain number plates, number of people on board, etc., it can be very useful to us. Reg plates are fantastic if you can get them. It helps us very quickly identify whether something is somewhat sinister or it could be a genuine thing, and it makes it easier for us to try and figure out. But the biggest thing I would like to say is that notify us when it's happening, or as soon as you can, because largely a lot of people would report it a couple of hours later, and that makes it harder for us then to try and figure out where they've gone, or the chances of intercepting them are a lot lower.
Of course. And I suppose, Cormac, as well, they're saying they're selling power washers and tools a lot. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true as regards the prices.
Most certainly, yeah. And I'm on that. I just wanted to mention as well about scams coming up to Christmas and things as well. Not only, I suppose, the physical, the traditional kind of, I'm calling to buy something or sell something or whatever. Online scams are going to be picking up as well over the Christmas period. And like you said, if it's too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. Certain scams, like selling tickets. You can't beat the traditional ringing someone and talking to them if you can, or meeting them in person. And even that in itself, ringing someone, you can't trust nearly anyone on the phone to a certain extent anymore, because with the advent of AI technology and things, it's very hard to fully prove who is someone when you're talking to them on the phone. So if people could put on that kind of a mentality when they're talking to people, if they're buying something, etc., to be very wary of scams coming up to Christmas, because it's a vulnerable time for people, because people are so busy and they're trying to get their Christmas shopping done and things, that there are people out there that are going to try and take advantage of that. And as I would say to people, like, I wouldn't be that quick to pay anything or pay anyone unless it comes to you in the post, is one of the most verified ways of getting a bill, or else they're in person.
Okay.
And even at that, contact us if there's anything, if someone notices anything untoward, etc., and answering the phone to numbers, etc. Genuine companies will understand if you want verification or you want something to.
Okay. Could I just mention in that, you're still there, Cormac, are you?
I think we've lost him. We've lost the connection. Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're going to throw on our featured artist this morning, Trish. We've decided a mutual decision.
ABBA.
ABBA.
Which I
Okay.
think everybody likes.
Exactly. So we have the winner takes it all, and that's to do with our monster raffle that's coming up this year. Cormac back in the line. Cormac.
Hi,
How are you,
Cormac.
sir?
Hi, Cormac.
The
No,
line dropped there.
ABBA stood in there for you for a few minutes. It takes four of them to replace one of you. Okay, go ahead. We were talking about scams, and I was just saying last week I had my card was frozen, a Bank of Ireland card, and when I rang the number on it, it was a person and I'm not being racist, it was an Indian person I spoke to, and I could hardly know what they were saying. So I asked them where I was talking to them, even though it was Bank of Ireland services, and it was in India. And she did ask for information. I wasn't comfortable giving it, so I hung up and I went into my local Bank of Ireland here in Scariff, and I asked them. And actually, their base is in India, and it was all legit.
Yeah.
So
But it's no harm in checking it
It
out.
isn't. No, that's what I'm saying. It's no harm to check.
Exactly that. It's having that awareness that you take a step back for a second and think, is this a scam? Am I been duped in some kind of way? And you can't beat the face-to-face interaction with your local branch or whatever,
Yeah.
It's to have that awareness. Just at this time of year, there will be and as well, what we are noticing is with the increased availability of the internet and smartphones and things, people are talking to people online that mightn't actually be real, or their intentions might be sinister, and it's to make maybe people aware as well of certain types of romance fraud and things like that. I suppose a good salesman will create a sense of urgency with a person, whether you're trying to buy something by saying, "Oh, it's the last one available," and they're going out the door and things. It's just be aware of the urgency and of the fact that people will try and take advantage of you online. Not everyone is who they say they are,
And they're still going on those romance scams, aren't they? You just wonder how people are duped.
Unfortunately, they are. Yeah, unfortunately, they still are. But you see, people will take advantage of the good nature and the trust of people as well,
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they're trained to be able to get the trust.
Exactly. Well, they're following a script, and like that, a lot of the time, they can be easily caught out. If you are believing that you are maybe a victim of it, you can report it to us. But a simple number of questions you could ask them to try and verify if they're even in the country, even in the continent. You can do that, But
okay.
My advice would be, the bottom line would be to contact and Garda Síochána, contact Killaloo, contact us, and we can call out and we can give you advice on it. And don't part with any money if possible at all.
Yeah.
We can't tell people necessarily what to do, but if they want to do it, but just scams are becoming more and more popular, and with people having smartphones and more available access to the internet,
of course,
everyone isn't as genuine as they let on,
Yep.
And of course, with Black Friday coming up now as well, there's probably going to be a few more scams, Cormac, is there?
Probably will be, yeah. Again, online, sometimes if it's too good to be true, it probably isn't true. It's not the case, Like buying your goods, if you are buying them off a reputable source, would be something I would advise. We all do online shopping; it's so convenient. But I mean, if you're getting something, look to see what website you're buying it off. If it's reputable, what are the terms and conditions attached to it, your refund policies, etc. And as well to be aware that, like that, if you're buying, whether it's a cordless drill or a hairdryer, if it's €400 in a shop and it's 100 online, it probably is too good.
There's something wrong somewhere.
I heard somebody speaking during the week, and he was saying that it's especially to check out with laptops, that laptops can be advertised, but if you check them out, that they may be 2 or 3 years out of date, so they're not as good an offer as what you think.
Exactly, exactly. It's, I suppose, the old-fashioned way of going in and seeing it and looking at it is hard to beat, really, on one level when you're... And then as well, technology and things that you're buying online usually are so expensive that, the loss sometimes can be quite substantial.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I suppose really,
buying online.
If in doubt, check it out, really, Cormac, isn't it?
Most certainly, yeah. And I suppose if nothing else was taken away from this morning, it's just for people to just be a small bit more aware, or be wary, I suppose, is what I would say, about scams coming up to Christmas, whatever kind of scam it is,
Yeah.
Okay, Cormac. Well, listen, thank you very much for your advice.
Thank you.
And have a nice week. Okay.
Yeah, you too. I'll hopefully chat you next week again.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Cormac. Cheers.